you guys. So I'm going to show you how to finish your infotainment project. Now, I have two different stories, and they're also in two different compositions in WeVideo. So I have my backyard farmer, and I also have my harvest story as well. Now, the harvest story is a lot of layers, right? So it's a much more audio layers. And just about the same video layers as my zucchini story. So because I didn't drop them I didn't edit them in the same timeline to begin with, and I have two separate stories, I'm going to want to render them on their own. So this one's just at the 1 minute mark. It has its own title, it has its own soundtrack and all that. I'm going to finish it up. I'm going to make sure I choose HD and send it to my Google Drive, and I'm going to export that. Now, I've already done that. It'll take a few minutes to do that. Additionally, you'll do the same sort of thing with both of your videos, right? So you'll want both your narrative and your documentary rendered if you don't already have them in a single timeline. Now, if you do have them in a single timeline, we'll come back to that at the end. But for me, I've rendered both those videos. So now I'm going to be in a new edit called Infotainment. And let me get rid of these guys to show you how it works. What I'm going to do is go to, in the My Media tab, go to My Exports. And I have my two rendered videos. I have my narrative. I have my documentary. And this is the order I want to put them in. You can decide which one comes first. But I'm going to have my documentary first. You only need between 2 to 4, maybe max 5 seconds between the two videos, just so that it ends one and goes to the other. With just a little bit of a break between to know that there is a separation. Helping knowing that there's a separation is the fact that there is a title for both of these as well. So now an option to this is adding some credits. So I'm going to add a text. I'm going to go to static, and there's an end credits option. So I'm going to do that, and even after just a few seconds of dark mise-en-scène, I'm going to double click that and be able to put in the credits that are appropriate. I produced it, I directed it, and I was an actor in it, and I had a second actor, and it just happened to be my pup, Obi. All right, I'm going to choose a font that looks nice and fits my whole overall feeling. Now, cut off the bottom of that section. So I'm going to make sure that the text box is large enough to actually fit all the words that I want on there. Now, right now it's static. It's not going to be moving, and I want something a little bit more dynamic than that. So where I'm editing is a little word bubble. Next, I'm going to go to animation. At the start, so it's blue and highlighted. At the start, I want my credits to be down below. And at the end, I want my credits to be up above. And now we'll be able to see that over the course of the credits, it will scroll and look pretty professional there. All right, so I've got that. But you know what? I think even though my two stories each have their own title, I'm going to go ahead and title the entire project itself. So I'm going to select all those and move them all down a little bit. And if you've got multiple layers with your edits, you can always drag your mouse across all of them to select all of them so they all move at once. And I'm going to add a title. I'm going to give myself probably too much space there. Pull down. Yep, that was just enough space. And in fact, I'm going to trim it down if 8 seconds is too long for the simple title. I'll go with 5. Double click that. I'm going to be calling mine Garden Variety Infotainment. So my whole project has a title. Again, choosing a font and and color and all that kind of stuff that really fits the whole style of the film. I made it bold, so it got too large for the text box. So I'm going to say save changes for that. I'm going to do a fade on this. So I'm clicking opacity, adding a keyframe, bringing that first one down, adding another keyframe, bringing the last one down. So now it's going to fade in and out. That was a little too quick. I'll give it some more time. Try it again. Garden Variety Infotainment. It does feel a little long for what it says, right? It was quick and easy to read, so I'm going to shorten that up a bit. Zoom out, bring the rest of this a bit tighter to it, so there's not too much of a gap there. Okay, so starting at 5 seconds sounds good. All right, so now I have both my stories, The Backyard Farmer and Harvest, side by side with a little bit of blank space between. I've got a title for the whole project, and I've got some credits for the whole project. So now I can finish this. I'm going to call it Infotainment, so I know what I'm looking at when I'm turning it in. Set that. Now, the thumbnail is not great, so I'm actually going to go back because I realized that where my playhead is on this blank screen. So in fact, when I have my playhead over something and I save the work, do a little resave, Infotainment, final, say okay, saving that, head over to finish, and it pulls up a nicer, more appropriate thumbnail for me. I want to make sure that it's titled what I want, that it's in HD. I'm sending it to Google Drive, and I'm going to export that, and off it goes. All right, so when this is done, it'll email you, it'll pop up in your Google Drive, and it's this MP4 that you will attach to your assignment. So just sending me a link by sharing will not allow me to watch it. So you have to render it into an MP4 and send it my way, okay? I'm looking forward to seeing this. Now, for some of you, you may have done your whole edit in a single timeline. And again, just a reminder that if you need to move things around, because maybe you like the idea of adding the title for the whole thing, you can move them all over so that you can add in a title or you can add in the credits. Of course, you would have two stories, not just the one. All right, holler if you need help. Otherwise, I'm so looking forward to seeing this hard work that you've put in. And congratulations, we're at the end.